Hello, this is Rachel here. This video is especially for anyone visiting my Facebook page, and I hope that there might be some, or at least one Jehovah's Witness who might be venturing onto my page. I just want to talk a little bit about the Australian Royal Commission. In exactly 1 week from today, the Jehovah's Witnesses in Australia will be appearing again before the Royal Commission. The hearing will be live streamed from their website, and that's childabuse.royalcommission.gov.au. There'll be more information on the website about the case. It's case 54, case study 54. Now, it was 2 years ago in 2015 in July and August that there was a 2-week hearing where different high-up members of the organisation from the Australia branch and also Jeffrey Jackson, a governing body member, testified. Also elders that were involved in particular cases of child sexual abuse. And on that occasion, the lead counsel for the commission said to Brother Jackson, did he realise that the Royal Commission was there to help them, because what their interest is not in assigning blame necessarily, but to make sure that better procedures and policies are put in place in different organisations that will protect children from child abuse, sexual child abuse. So Brother Jackson agreed that he understood that that's what the objective of the Commission was. Yet, sad to say, we still hear of witnesses when they are asked about the Royal Commission, they will say that it's lies, that it's made up, that it's the media's making it up, that apostates are making it up, whereas in fact it's a legitimate thing, an inquiry that was commissioned by the Queen basically and the government. So if witnesses still consider governments to be the superior authorities, then they should be willing to cooperate with them. And it does say in the scriptures that the superior authorities are placed in their relative positions by God, and they act as his ministers to punish those who commit crimes. And if you don't commit crimes, you have nothing to be afraid of. So really, the organisation should be cooperating fully with the Royal Commission, especially if they say that they do care about the children who have been abused. So anyway, the 2-week hearing back in 2015 is available on YouTube. If you just put in Australian Royal Commission, Jehovah's Witnesses, something like that, you should find something there. It's 8 days worth of videos, so it's pretty long watching, but very, very interesting. Anyway, in November of last year, 2016, the Royal Commission put out their report on Jehovah's Witnesses, and it's quite long reading, and their findings weren't terribly favourable towards the organisation. And on page 77 of that report, they give a very brief summary of the problems that they found with the organisation's policies and practices regarding the handling of child sexual abuse and the way that they deal with the perpetrators and the victims. So I'll just read through these few points that they made. No doubt these are going to be discussed at the upcoming hearing on Friday the 10th of March. So it says here, having regard to the various matters we have discussed in this report, we have reached a number of general conclusions on the Jehovah's Witness organisation's response to the sexual abuse of children. We do not consider the Jehovah's Witness organisation to be an organisation which responds adequately to child sexual abuse. We do not believe that children are adequately protected from the risk of sexual abuse for the following reasons. Number 1, the organisation relies on outdated policies and practices to respond to allegations of child sexual abuse. Also, those policies and practices are not subject to ongoing and continuous review. The policies and practices are, by and large, wholly inadequate and unsuitable for application in cases of child sexual abuse. The organisation's retention and continued application of policies such as the two-witness rule in cases of child sexual abuse shows a serious lack of understanding of the nature of child sexual abuse. Second point, the organisation's internal disciplinary system for addressing complaints of child sexual abuse is not child or survivor focused, and that it is presided over by males and offers a survivor little or no choice about how their complaint is addressed. Third point, the sanctions available within the organisation's internal disciplinary system are weak and leave perpetrators of child sexual abuse at large in the organisation and in the community. Fourth point, in deciding the sanctions to impose and or precautions to take in relation to a known or suspected perpetrator, the organisation has inadequate regard to the risk that the perpetrator might reoffend. This demonstrates a serious lack of understanding of the nature and impact of child sexual abuse. The last point, the organisation's general practice of not reporting serious instances of child sexual abuse to police or authorities, in particular where the complainant is a child, demonstrates a serious failure by the organisation to provide for the safety and protection of children in the organisation and in the community. So there's some very serious problems with the policies that they brought out there, and I guess on Friday the 10th the organisation will be expected to explain to the Commission what they have done to improve things, and as far as I know they haven't really done anything. I think they might have made some of the directions given to elders a little clearer. For example, the direction that a child doesn't have to face their abuser, with the Judicial Committee, that they can make their complaint by letter, things like that, whereas these weren't very clear before. So they've clarified some of the instructions, but the main problems are still there, and it remains to be seen whether they will change or not. I think if Jehovah's Witnesses were really aware of the direction that the governing body gives to the elders, via their elders handbook, Shepherd the Flock of God book, which is supposed to be like a secret book only for elders, and the direction that they give via the legal department and service department at the branch, most witnesses would have no knowledge of these things at all, only elders would. And I think if most witnesses knew how things were handled, they'd be horrified. And so I think if they become aware of it, perhaps pressure can be exerted on to the governing body that, they've got to update these policies to protect children. Anyway, so I hope if you are a Jehovah's Witness watching this, that you will take the time to go to the Royal Commission website, see that it's not apostate lies. This commission wants to help. They want to help children. They want to help organisations develop better policies so that we don't end up with these very damaged people in society, because sexual abuse of children is oftentimes something they never get over. It's very destructive. It's not just a weakness, as sometimes the witness literature describes it. It's a crime, a very destructive crime. It's not to be brushed under the carpet. So please, 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 Jehovah's Witnesses, look into it. It's not like Stephen Letts said, apostate-driven lies. It just isn't. This is real. Okay, so please check it out. I beg you. Thank you. Bye.